With VideoStudio Pro and Ultimate, you've got access to pro-level color grading tools. Use the auto-tone adjustment, make manual adjustments to hue or exposure, control white balance and temperature on video clips, add LUTs profiles, or get even more control with tone curves and HSL tuning. I've got two clips on my timeline that we can use to show off VideoStudio's color correction. I've got one with some good contrast between light and dark, and another with a good range of colors. To get to the color properties, just double-click the clip and then select Color. You can see we've got Basic, Tone Curve and HSL tuning tabs. Each of these can affect the color of your clips in slightly different ways, with some overlap in their features. You can use whichever you like, or a combination of all of them if you want. Basic color correction comes with VideoStudio Pro, and in VideoStudio Ultimate, Tone Curve and HSL are also included. In this video, which is part 1 of our color correction series, we'll look at the basic color correction. Please see parts 2 and 3 for help with Tone Curve and HSL. The easiest feature to use is the auto-tone adjustment. This is a quick and dirty setting that lets VideoStudio analyze your clip for you and gives you its best guess. You can see on our first clip that it makes the clip brighter, which makes sense as it's quite a dark clip with a lot of shadows in the foreground here. You can use the drop-down to get brighter or darker auto adjustments. Let's select a slightly darker option. You can use this in conjunction with white balance. White balance is basically how white is in your clip. What do we mean by this? Well, white is the sum of all colors, so completely red, completely blue and completely green. And colors are affected by the time of day that the clip was recorded at. For example, in the morning, whites will be slightly cooler with less reds, and in the evening it will be warmer with less blues and greens. And also, different cameras have slightly different color grades. So if you're using a few different clips in your project, you want to balance your whites so that pure white looks the same across your clips. Make sense? Okay. So, how do we white balance? Well, you can let VideoStudio do it for you by clicking white balance, and it will search your clip for the whitest part. Or if there's no white, then a grey part where there is otherwise no color, which is just white but with less brightness, which you can see it's done for our first clip. Or if there is white in your clip, like in our second one here, there's a few bits of white, but they're actually a little green really. If we scrub forward, yep, there, the chair in the background is right in the sun, so it's the most white bit of our clip. Double-click the clip and go to Color Settings and turn White Balance on. And you can see it's calculated like a grey, tan sort of color. Let's override the automatic white balance and we'll use the color picker to pick the white of the sun chair. And you can see it subtly changed the color of everything in the clip and makes the skin tones look more real and vivid, which is great. There's also quick options for things like cloudy, shade, or fluorescent lighting as well, so you can quickly choose a white balance template based on where your clip was recorded. You can also adjust a bunch of controls here for other elements as well, like hue, which will make the image more green and magenta if we turn it down, or more yellow and blue if we turn it up. And by the way, just double-click a slider to return it to 0. Or for exposure, which is kind of like the brightness of the clip. Or contrast, which kind of makes darks darker and light parts lighter, so kind of like controlling brightness in a different way. And then blacks, shadows, mid-range, etc., which we'll get into in more detail in the tone curve, as the tone curve has a similar control but in a different way. Finally, on the Basic tab, we've got LUTs profiles. You can download LUTs from a bunch of different places on the web. These can be for advanced color correction or to apply kind of like filters that you might have in your phone. I've got a few installed here, and they can make some really cool effects really quickly. You can use them in conjunction with the rest of the Basic tab, or to apply the same filter to a bunch of different clips. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll look at the tone curve.